Good middle of the day to you. How are you? I hope you're well. As for me, it's quite stressful, quite anxious and anxiety-inducing time at the moment. If you've seen our previous video about our home and what we've done with it, you'd know it is being sold, which means we will be homeless soon, which is a bugger. But we have bought a block of land somewhere, but we're still waiting for settlement and all that sort of stuff to go through and all the stuff that's out of our control. So very stressful, and yep, we'll be Tesla owners, EV owners that will be homeless. But anyway, let's crack on with what's happening in EV space in Australia these last few weeks, if you can ignore all the crap that's going on over the other side of the big pool over there. I mean, I'm going to officially rename the Pacific Ocean to the big pool. We've got the puddle between here and New Zealand, big pool, or the bigger puddle. What do you reckon? What do you reckon we should rename the Pacific Ocean to? I mean, it appears you can just rename it on a whim, so let's do that. Anyway, yes, where were we? The news. Apparently there's been a study out by the NRMA about EV adoption in Australia. Now, they've studied potential car buyers and asked them questions about why they won't consider or will consider buying an EV. Based on their results, 20% of people looking to buy a new car will consider an EV. But if those people knew more about EVs, such as things about range anxiety, battery health, battery care, how long the batteries last, all that sort of thing, then they found that people will, 32% of buyers would consider an EV. So that's a good thing. It's a decent increase, 12% increase, just basically from educating people, which is sort of the reason why I started making these videos in the first place, especially our road trip videos. Because as you know, if you're a long time follower, we've had EVs now for almost 9 years, exclusively EV owners for 9 years, proving that it's actually quite easy to do. So basically what they're saying is, if we educate more people, then more people are more likely to buy EVs. That's actually pretty easy to do, I think. Well, you know, you guys can share this video and then tell friends about EVs and stuff like that, and that will help a lot. And also, their study revealed that owners, on general, save about $1,000 a year over buying a petrol car. So, and now with the influx of so many cheap EVs now that are cheaper than a petrol car, it's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you buy an EV? Like I said, if someone's considering buying an EV or thinking about buying a new car, educate them. Tell them about range anxiety, how it doesn't exist if you're an EV owner. Tell them about how easy it is. And hopefully push them into that 32% bracket that will consider buying an EV for the next car, because cleaner air is better for everybody. Not only that, energy security, no more relying on foreign oil, especially in today's economic climate with who knows what the heck is going to happen when somebody walks in the room, throws a bucket of shit and says tariffs or whatever. Volvo are now bringing in an off-road EV to Australia. Yes, proper off-road EV apparently, which is going to be called the EX5. Basically it comes with higher suspension, bigger wheels, 19mm lift, so that's been jacked up a bit. Optional off-road tyres, all-terrain tyres, off-road capability. Will give about 430 kilometres of range apparently, down from 460, because obviously, you know, lifting the car up means more aerodynamic drag. Off-road tyres makes more rolling resistance, more noise, which is more energy, so less efficient, shorter range. And a roof rack apparently. It's got a cargo rack on the roof and actually looks pretty good. Judging by these pictures, I reckon it should sell well if the pricing's right, even with 430 k's of range. Orders are now open with pricing to be announced, even though they're expected to be around about $71,000 for the EX30 twin motor performance, which is it's up there, $71,000. Oh, okay, yeah. If it's well spec'd and long range, maybe might be alright. So we'll see how they go. Zeekr is also expanding the dealer network in Australia. They're tripling his dealer network from 12 to 15 locations this year, with 3 more showrooms in Sydney and Melbourne. So if you're looking for a Zeekr, there's going to be more options around for you. Hello, birdie. Goodbye, birdie. We're looking for between 2,500 to 3,000 sales per year, with a target of bumping up to 10,000 sales by 2026. That's impressive, and it'd be good if they sell that many. I'd love to see them see more. So if you're looking at a Zeekr, that's pretty good. But also, they're saying they're targeting the luxury brands of Volvo and Polestar. Yeah, that's interesting, because apparently they're trying to position themselves as a luxury brand, which is good. But we also need affordable EVs. But they're also targeting Polestar and Volvo, which they own. So, Geely are now changing up their suspension tuning for Australian conditions. They've been driving around Australia in the EX5, driving over the speed humps, the potholes, the dirt roads, the ruts, the bumps, the holes, the bumps and the bumps. I guess to tune their suspension to suit Australian conditions. So I'm assuming that's a good thing. So, though I haven't heard many bad things about Geely, though I haven't sort of really paying much attention to them. But yeah, they're coming to Australia with a $49,000 model, the EX5, tuned for Australian conditions. So that's fantastic news if you're looking for a gearly. Comes with the enhanced driver assist systems like lane keep assist, traffic sign recognition, all that usual stuff. 60 kilowatt hour battery, 430 k's of range in the base model, and 3 years free servicing. Not that they're going to lose much money on that, because what do you service in an EV these days? I mean, it's gone 6 years and I barely touched the thing. An independent test coming soon, whatever that means. Also includes 1,000 kilometres of free fast charging, so about 7,000 kilometres worth of free fuel, essentially. I'm not sure who that's with, but yeah, it doesn't actually say in this press release right here. So I thought I'd hide in this little wooden cave thing here, away from the bees, because I'm about to talk about something that's apparently not very cool to talk about at the moment. It's, is no one around? Tesla, yes. Not what you think though. It's not about the cars. Well, it sort of is in a roundabout kind of way. It is Tesla will be establishing a battery recycling and refurbishment plant in Western Australia, in Collie, the home of coal in Western Australia. Now, what they plan to do in this recycling refurbishing plant is taking Model 3, Model Y, S and X, old EV batteries, taking them all the way over to Western Australia, and refurbishing, why can't I say that word all of a sudden? Refurbishing the batteries to be reused as, I'm assuming, stationary storage, such as megapacks, or probably sent back to China to be installed in new cars. I don't know. But even so, it's good for business over in West Australia because they're also refurbishing the megapacks, which is good too. So next time somebody gets on social media and has a cry saying, what about all those EV batteries in landfill? And considering I'm actually on top of a landfill site right now, I can't see any batteries under this ground. Continuing on Tesla, hence I'm still inside my little wooden cage here to make sure I don't get any people throwing shit and yelling swash something at me. They're building Australia's biggest DC fast charging station in Goulburn. 20 stalls, as reported in The Driven. There's a few pictures around on PlugShare and all that sort of thing. Though I can't confirm whether it is going to be for all brands to be used, but I'm assuming it will be. And based on the PlugShare comments, it looks like it probably is. Don't take my word for it, because there's no actual, like, somewhat written in writing saying yes, it will be for all brands of EVs. But even so, despite Tesla and all the criticisms at the moment, which is probably well deserved, they're still building out a fast charging network, and 20 stalls in one spot at Goulburn will be a welcome addition to that supercharging network, that's for sure. These are pretty cool actually. I'm walking around this park here. This is a new park up the road for me, which is actually quite nice. Really happy they turned this old landfill site into a great recreational precinct. Also these little cool things around the place. Mazes. That's actually quite interesting. I don't know what the lock means. Okay, yep, got it from the lock to the key. What am I doing? EV stuff, that's it. Ah, crap. Breaking news. Today's the 12th of February. Yes, I'm recording this. I'm recording this right now, right here, on this particular table, right in this very spot. Yes, breaking news. Great Wall Motors will be taking on BYD with a PHEV Ute game. Now, it is a plug-in hybrid. I mean, the plug-in hybrids, as far as I'm concerned, are not really EVs. They're a gateway drug. For some people, they're probably quite necessary, because our PHEV was our gateway drug to full EV ownership. But beside that, there is now 2 options for a big Ute in Australia that are plug-in hybrids. Obviously, there's a BYD Shark with a range of around about 100 kilometres. The Great Wall Motors PHEV Ute is going to be called the Cannon Alpha. That's actually probably a pretty decent name, actually, funnily enough. Coming in April this year. It says class-leading performance, 110 kilometres of range. You've got to up the competition by that just a little bit, 10 k's of range. 110 kilometres EV range. Now, that is more than enough for the Australian average daily commute of 30 kilometres to the shopping centre and work and school and things like most Utes do. And it has 300 kilowatts of power, 750 metres of Newton, and a serious off-road capacity. I don't know what that means, but it can tow 3,500 kilos. Now, I do believe the Shark was limited to 3,000 kilos, I'm not sure. So they're probably running up on that as well. Now, the difference is the hybrid system in this. Now, the Shark is built like a Mitsubishi Outlander, or an old train essentially. Your petrol motor runs a generator, creates electricity. That electricity is then directed to motors on the front and rear axle, battery in the middle to store the excess or the charge. So your wheels are driven by electric motors only, much like the Outlander PHEV. But this one says it's a mechanical driven four-wheel drive system. So now I'm assuming it's going to have a petrol motor, because I haven't got many details yet, it's only come out today. A 2-litre petrol motor. I'm assuming where the gearbox is mounted, there'll probably be an electric motor in there as well, because it does have a 9-speed gearbox. So I'm assuming where the torque converter / clutch would be where the electric motor sits. But it has a 30-something kilowatt-hour battery to give it the 100 kilometres of range. Which then means it's still going to waste energy driving through a transfer case, front and rear drive shaft, front and rear differentials, and all those energy losses associated with that. So we'll see how it goes. But maybe it will be a serious off-road contender, but the BYD Shark, from what I've seen, is just as capable off-road as any other 4x4 Ute, which is good. Going to be coming in 2 models. The Lux, assuming that's going to be the Luxury, $63,990, and the Ultra, which is going to be $68,990. Now, I'd assume the more expensive would be the Luxury, but the Lux, that's back to front. Anyway, strong sales support, the usual stuff. 8 years warranty, not too bad. 7-year car warranty. 8-year warranties on the battery and the drive. And it just says the battery only, that's it. 7 years roadside service, blah, 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 blah. Now, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's still a Ute, they all look the same to me. But yeah, that's news on EVs in Australia at this very point in time. Oh, yeah, it's hello, ants. Well, that's it. That's all the news from EV space in Australia that I found interesting this week. If you'd like me to keep doing these videos, then like, comment, subscribe. Much appreciated. If you got this far, that's even more appreciated, because I enjoy making these videos and I like spreading the news on the EV thing. Speaking of EV things, I'm Eve up there, looking lonely in the car park up there by itself. So yeah, as you know, sold a house, bought a block of land that has nothing on it, the grass, the wombats, and a dam. And an iMove soon, if you can manage to get it out there. That's going to be a fun road trip video, driving an iMove out to a rural property. Stick around for that one. So take care of yourself, it's good to see you again, and see you in the next video. Bye.